You deserve the fullness that life has to offer, so why not make the small moments more special, delicious, and enchanting? Life Reimagined is where self love comes first. Let's indulge in the simple pleasures, dig deeper into what we deserve, and make our spaces just a little more beautiful along the way. We're keeping the outfit very, very casual today for Life Reimagined because I'm gonna be doing some work, okay? I'm gonna be putting together some wallpaper in our baby's room. I'm very excited because we have done absolutely nothing to the nursery so far, and this is gonna be the first bit of decor that we're gonna add here, and it's something that I've thought about for a while now. Ever since I put up the wallpaper in my office downstairs, I've been really excited to try it again somewhere else in the house. And I was like, well, where else would be perfect? The baby's room. But I'm really excited about this because I picked out a really fun, whimsical, bright, and vibrant wallpaper to put on this wall here. And I really want our baby's room to have color, personality, life, youthfulness, all of the above. I'm really tired of the obsession with beige these days, especially when it comes to things for kids. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. It's gonna be mainly voiceover because your girl needs to focus. And applying wallpaper takes a lot of precision, patience, going slowly, taking your time, all of the above. So I have blocked off hours for me to do this just in case. I would ideally like to be done within about an hour to 2 hours, but you never know. And I'm also not a pro at this, but I have done it before and I want to inspire you to give it a try as well. Wallpaper is something that I think can really brighten up and enliven any space that it's in. And the great thing about it, if you get the peel and stick wallpaper, you can always change your mind. Whereas with paint, it's sometimes just a little bit more permanent. So I want to help you to feel more comfortable giving wallpaper a try, whether you do it yourself or if you hire someone else to do it, because it can make such a big impact on how your space looks and feels. So I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get into it. So the wallpaper that we're using today is from the company Wall Blush. This is the same brand that I used for the wallpaper in my office downstairs. And I love it because their wallpaper is very easy to use. Well, if you choose the peel and stick option, that's what I did. If you are a beginner like myself and someone who needs to learn the ropes of using wallpaper, I would highly suggest peel and stick wallpaper. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I am cutting and sectioning off each of my panels. The great thing about Wall Blush is that they put the panels in numerical order. So at the bottom of each panel, it tells you the exact number. So it'll tell you from start to finish. I had 6 panels to go along my wall that I actually measured out before I ordered the entire shipment. So what you do is you measure your wall width and height, and then you go onto the Wall Blush website, put that information in, and it's going to help you to determine how many panels you need. So mine was 6. So I just line everything up beforehand so that I'm really organized and I can take my time going through it. Your girl forgot to hit record when I first started the panels, but it's okay. There's going to be so many others to go, so you will be able to see me do it from the top at some point. Wall Blush also includes this little scraper thingy. I don't even know what it's called, but you can use either a credit card or the one that they provide you to help to smooth out any air bubbles or wrinkles that may be in your wallpaper. Wallpaper is something that really takes time. So I highly suggest going slowly, going one panel at a time, top to bottom, and then moving from there. So now I'm on to my second panel, and what you do, you try to make sure that it doesn't slide out like mine did. I'm actually excited to show you how the second panel went because it wasn't so easy, and I want to show you what to do in the event of a mishap. So this is the way you start out. You're going to separate the wallpaper from the back side and then release the sticky end from there. Go very slowly and also pay attention to how your wallpaper is laying and falling because it gets a little bit fluid at that point. Uh-oh. So this is the mishap that I was telling you about. Your wallpaper can stick to itself with peel and stick. Now, there are two options here. You can either utilize some heat, which is through a hair blow dryer or some other heat source that's going to blow a little bit of warmth onto the wallpaper, and then from there, gently peel it off. I was being lazy and decided to just take my time peeling it off without any additional heat, which also is fine. You can just use the heat at the end to smooth it out and make sure that you get rid of any wrinkles. So I just took my time, took deep breaths, and gently pulled it away from each other. This is gonna happen on your first or second, like mine, try. So don't get mad and don't panic if it happens. They tell you all you have to do is just gently peel the pieces apart and you'll be okay. Look, here we are. I think the process of applying wallpaper and just motherhood as a whole has helped me to be more patient, not just in general, but also with myself. I think I'm somebody who, I don't know about you, but I am literally my biggest and harshest critic. I am constantly in my head about things, over analyzing situations, and redoing things 20,000 times because it's not perfect. And the process of adding wallpaper to your household is not something that's easy and it's not something that's going to always be a seamless process. So I had to just give myself grace throughout this entire thing. Not all of the shapes were lining up as I was putting the panels against each other. Not every single panel was as smooth as I wanted it to be. But I reminded myself that one, I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm not a pro at this. And two, it's okay. Not everything needs to be perfect. And sometimes the imperfections are what make things even more beautiful and even more special. The great thing about this is that when my son is old enough to understand, I can let him know that mommy took her time putting together this beautiful wallpaper to decorate his room and let him know just how much I love him and just how much of a labor of love this entire process was. And I think if you asked me to do something like this a few years ago, I would probably be a lot more frustrated throughout the process, cussing at myself. I probably would have ripped that panel that got stuck to itself and given up a few times. So I think grace is something that I've had to learn. It's something that I've had to practice, and it's not something that always comes extremely easily. You know, life is hard and mistakes happen and mishaps happen and hardships happen. And it's all about your point of view. It's all about how you look at that situation and choose to move on from it. And I have chosen to stop beating myself up. I think we spend so much time beating ourselves up, talking ourselves out of things that we don't open ourselves up to greater possibility and the fact that we might actually learn from a situation. And I think with how long this process of adding wallpaper is, I learned a lot and I did a lot of introspection. So now we're at the bottom part where I'm going to clean up the edges. So I took the little credit card thing that they gave me along with a razor blade that I use, and I'm just sliding it across the areas that I want to clean up. And from there, I just peel off the excess panel and it's a nice clean edge. This process also takes a little bit of time, and also don't apply too much pressure because you don't want to literally cut and slice your wall. You want to make sure that your wall is still in good condition after the fact. So I like to take my time with this part, and it's actually my favorite part because it's very soothing to see the straight edges reappear. I actually never used to be a big wallpaper person, and then I started to see all of the possibilities that wallpaper had and all of the different things that you can do. I think with paint, it's a little bit limiting because if I wanted to paint something like this, I'm definitely not an artist who would have been able to get all these shapes done right or been able to choose the right colors and make sure that it looks cohesive across the board. But I think wallpaper takes out that guesswork and you can literally create any look that you want, any vibe that you want, and change it as often as you want, which is really, really nice. So if I want to take this wallpaper off, I just pull on the edge from the bottom and gently pull it from the bottom up to the top, and that's going to help me to just take it off, which is really nice. And so here is the final product. Now I have all the pressure to actually finish putting together the baby room. And voila! Oh my gosh, this was definitely a labor of love. It wasn't as easy as, not to say that the first one was easy, but it wasn't as forgiving as the one downstairs because the base of this wallpaper is white. So I feel like the white and then the fact that like it has very, it has different patterns throughout makes it hard for you to actually blend everything seamlessly, but we made it work. And I'm really, really proud of the finished product. I feel like it looks fun, whimsical, and now I'm like, okay, all right, this is the nursery, this is the baby's room. I took my time doing this. That is my biggest takeaway for anyone trying to do any type of wallpaper or decor in general. Give yourself time. Take it slow and give yourself grace along the way. I had more than a few hiccups throughout the entire process, but I stayed patient with myself. I gave myself some grace, and here we are. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy with how it looks. Again, it's not perfect. If you look very closely, there are small details and things that are out of place or not necessarily lined up, but it's okay. It honestly does not matter. I feel good about it. And from where I'm standing and from where you're viewing, I'm sure it looks just as fabulous as I feel it does. Wallpaper is one of those things that may not be for everybody, but I can attest to the fact that adding some really does make a difference. Now I need to actually buy my son a crib. As always, thank you so much for watching Life Reimagined. Remember, life is what you make it, so why not make it more beautiful? See you next Saturday.